Hey guys, Matt Bishop here. Hang on, dude, I don't feel right. Hang on one second. Now I'm ready.
Alright.
Let's do this! I got my Trivium wristband on. I am here with Corey from Trivium, one of the guitar players. Dude, you're nominated for a Golden God Award this year, aren't you?
I believe so.
No, I know so. You are. You and Matt.
Yeah, we nominated for, I guess, Best Guitarist. So,
Absolutely.
Pretty cool. It's the first time, I guess, for the U.S. Revolver Golden Gods or whatever. That's the first time we've been nominated for anything for the U.S. version. And then there's like also the Metal Hammer Golden Gods over in England that we've won a few things and been nominated multiple times for there. So finally we got one for the United States. So,
dude, that's coming up. That's so exciting, man. Coming up in April. Best of luck to you guys. Everybody go to check out Revolver online. Vote for Matt and Corey. Little side note there. Now, first question I have for you is I want to kind of dispel this rumor that I've been hearing, find out whether it's true or not.
Is this the foosball game?
No. I heard, this is going around through the grapevine, that the next Trivium album is going to be heavier and angrier than In Waves.
Yes, that's the goal. That's what we're shooting for. It's going to be just I think Matt described it pretty well. I guess with all the artwork that we're thinking about doing, the whole visual look of just the whole vibe of the record, it's like elegant hatred. So it's, we just been...
To put it lightly.
Yeah, just the whole writing process and just kind of like our feelings towards music and just like our attitude that we feel that needs to be in metal is just, just pissed off, angry, in your face, no bullshit metal. So after In Waves, I think that record was kind of like the stepping stone of, because we were going through a lot of changes with transition from different drummers and a different kind of atmosphere in the band. That was kind of like the foundation for where we're going now. And the next record is going to take what we did with In Waves and just go to a whole nother level of angry, pissed off metal. So you just have to wait and see. It's going to be a little while. We're still writing, still in the early phases. We've got a bunch of song ideas that are coming out really well. Matt's still got to work on the vocals and lyrics and everything, which takes like a little bit of time to kind of iron out all that stuff. But the record should hopefully be out possibly next summer, fall, if everything goes right. So you have to wait for more details on that once we kind of get a little bit more work under our belt with it.
Excellent. Stay tuned, people. Now, you guys have been touring for a long time now on In Waves. Has that given you guys a lot of opportunity to write, new material for the record? Is it a good environment to be in when you're writing on the road?
Yeah, we, I guess for the last couple records, minus Ember to Inferno and Ascendancy, Crusade, Shogun, In Waves, pretty much the majority of the material was written while we're on tour. So we have, each record we tour for anywhere, a year and a half, 2 years, whatever the, I guess pick your record or whatever. But we write a lot on tour in the dressing rooms, and I guess just being in different countries, different environments, different, I guess you're around different stuff that can inspire you. You can go out and see a different city, maybe seeing maybe a statue or like some old museum or something. Like you see something that you're just like, just really, sparks some kind of creative thing in you that just makes you want to create, even if it's not, I guess, a piece of music you're listening to that's like, I want to write something. It could just be anything that's creative art that just kind of makes you feel something. And a lot of stuff, like thinking about it, like you could take certain songs from the last couple records and I could be like, I remember we were in a dressing room in Germany when we wrote that. And it's like each song kind of has like its own story when you write it on tour. But we still do, once we get off tour, once we get in the rehearsal room, start jamming on the stuff that we've been writing for a long time, new ideas come to life. Right. And then even just like that spur of the moment jam thing where someone just starts screwing around on guitar and you're like, that sounds kind of cool, let's see where we can go with this. So we still have a lot of that kind of, that spark between everyone in the jam room kind of putting stuff. But we like to be, before we go in and start jamming for a new record, we like to be kind of like well prepared and have the ideas, because we all write a bunch of different stuff, we throw it by each other, we try to iron out the song pretty much, you know, so we can go right in and start playing it. And then once we kind of feel out the songs, you know, with playing with Nick, and it just, certain things you're like, it's just, we have to change that, it's not working from like the idea from the demo, but most of the part, you know, we get in there and we're, you know, firing on all cylinders, and, you know, makes, I guess, the turnaround to get a new record out, you know, quicker, since you don't have to like tour for a year and a half or whatever, and then you come off tour with, you know, starting from scratch. So we like to kind of just keep things
just
going.
Keep the metal machine moving, man.
Yeah, and then also you just never know when, you know, creativity strikes,
Yeah.
and you have to, you know, take advantage of, you know, your brain, you know, being cool for you. So.
You guys are on the Still Reckless tour right now with Asking Alexandria. How is this tour going so far? You guys were out on your own on a headlining tour, and now you're touring, you know, with a whole bunch of other bands now. How's it going?
It's going really well. You know, we wanted to do this tour to, you know, expose ourselves to a different audience of, you know, I guess, heavy music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these bands, obviously they're younger, they're kind of newer in comparison to us, since we've been around for, you know, a few more years. But they've kind of, the same as like when we came out with Ascendancy, that record struck like, you know, people that were 14, 15, you know, they were really young kids just getting exposed to music. That record, you know, we've had a lot of people, you know, tell us, and other bands on the tour, or just, you know, people that are, I guess, like maybe like 21, 22, they're like, yeah, man, when I was in middle school or whatever, that record was like what got me into metal and stuff. So now that we've been around for long, we've established ourselves and everything, and a lot of these bands are kind of like that band for like the new generation of like the 13, 14-year-old kids, you know, just getting exposed to the heavier side of music. And they've been coming out to the shows, and, you know, it's a good way for us to kind of introduce ourselves to the next generation of fans that are into heavy, aggressive music. Mm-hmm. We do it a totally different way than anyone else on this tour, but, you know, if you're into aggression and just like the vibe of heavy music, you know, we offer like a totally different, you know, side of the spectrum than what they might already be into. And it's just, you know, we're kind of like out here trying to be the educators of our type of metal. Mm-hmm. So it's been really cool. The you know, the fans have been really responsive. We've gotten, you know, people coming up after the show, we've never seen you guys before, you were great, and, you know, people following us on, you know, Facebook, Twitter. You know, a lot of people, you can see that there's a lot of people that weren't, you know, had no idea who we were, and it's cool to see, you know, our music, you know, still can, you know, turn some people's heads.
Yeah.
So we've been having a lot of fun, and you know, Asking Alexandria's super cool dudes. So we've been having a good time, and, you know, we've done a lot of touring on this record of just trying to get in front of different audiences and try to just spread, I guess, our form of metal and what we do as a band to people outside of, you know, of who we've already kind of, you know, pulled in. And we did the tour of Dream Theater, which was, I guess, the total opposite spectrum of what we're doing right now. And so that was really cool. Different vibe, different atmosphere. Musical, you know, people are very particular about what you're playing and really know what you're playing. So when we were doing that tour, we were really on point with, you know, making sure that we played as perfect as possible. So it was a really good tour us individually, because, you know, it really kind of lit a fire under our ass to like practice more, watching those guys play and just how they prepare for shows. So that was a cool experience. And then we did the In Flames tour. So, you know, we've done a lot of kind of hit every, you know, check mark every box, I guess, across the board of different, you know, genres, because it's kind of weird how being able to play with all these different types of bands, you can kind of see that there's so many people that like heavy music, but it's so sectioned off into this type, this type, and this type. It's like, you know, it's weird that not everyone just knows about metal, because when I was growing up, I would go from like the classic thrash, traditional, you know, like Iron Maiden, Metallica, Megadeth, and then that led me into, you know, death metal, black metal, power metal, you know, every type of metal, because it was just so interesting that there were so many different interesting types of metal. And now everyone just kind of picks like their section and sticks to it, and they don't dabble too much, or I guess maybe, you know, when they get older, they, you know, everyone kind of broadens their horizons and their tastes get better, I guess, as far as appreciating stuff outside of what their little narrow viewpoint is of music at that time, because I think everyone goes through that phase with They're just like, this is what I like, nothing else matters. So
Yeah.
hopefully, this has been a good experience for us to kind of, I guess, see what younger people are into or whatever. So all good on our end. We're having fun.
Nice.
Even though that was the extended answer.
Well, it's nice because you brought me to, kind of another point. I've been asking a lot of people this lately. I was just talking to like bands like August Burns Red, Silverstein, and about, where the heavy music genre is nowadays. And it's such like a big melting pot. Like you were just saying, 1 minute you guys are with Dream Theater, technical symphonic metal, and now you guys are with Asking Alexandria. They're more like the metalcore. I remember I saw you guys on that Metal Evolution documentary that Sam Dunn's doing, and
I did see our name pop
right at the top of the list of the new wave of American heavy metal. But where do you see Trivium at in this whole big mess of heavy metal, hardcore, thrash, metalcore, just the whole genre of heavy music?
It's a good question. I think with our background of everyone in the band, when everyone's starting off, we have like the basic core influence of, we all grew up at that time, like in the 90s when there was a lot of new metal was the big thing with Korn, Limp Bizkit. Like that's what, if people were listening to heavy music, a lot of people I went to school with, that was kind of like what they knew about. But I would search for stuff that I liked. I was like, nah, that's not me. I'm like guitar oriented, really interesting music. So I sought out all the stuff I wanted that I was like, didn't know what it was, but I knew what I was hearing on the radio or MTV was not for me. So I was like, I gotta go find music that I want, because I loved, I found out about a couple bands, but I was like, I gotta find more of this. It was like kind of like an addiction. So we all started off with, just like the classic thrash stuff. Like we all grew up in different places, but when we all came together, everyone was like, yeah, man, my first, cover song we did in the band was Metallica from the Bell Tolls. I'm like, yeah, me too. And then Paul was like, yeah, that was our first song. I'm like, all right. So we have a very, organic background of what we all like. So we just like, we like so much of that old school metal stuff. But then we had other influences, like, one of our biggest influences that doesn't really come out or people really don't pick out too much is death. Especially, like on Ascendancy, there's a lot of like, Sound of Perseverance inspired type of guitar riffing that doesn't, I think the Metallica kind of thrash thing kind of overshadows some of our other influences that make it interesting. So, we kind of, when we would write, we kind of had like the modern day, Matt was really into, when he started screaming, it was like, really into like Jesse Leach and Phil Anselmo. So we wanted to have that like heavy, screaming stuff. But we also like the singing and the melodic stuff from like Iron Maiden and some of that classic stuff that when we just started writing, just like the natural way that we just put songs together was just kind of like this old school metal with a modern twist to it in our own way, that it sounds fresh and it sounds new, but it still, I guess, waves the flag and, shows people that younger fans, when they got into something like Ascendancy, we were trying to introduce people to all the stuff that we liked, but also being ourselves as well. So we pretty much, to sum it all up, we just call ourselves a straight up fucking heavy metal band. We like
straight up fucking heavy metal band.
Metal.
I like it.
There's too many, people just calling subgenres and this and that and calling it this. People call this metalcore, but none of us really had any hardcore influences. So the core part really never made sense to me. Yeah, we scream and sing, but musically, there wasn't any hardcore parts, or I don't really know much about hardcore to really know, or so I was just kind of confused about that. But I think that was like the big thing when we came up at the time. So we still get kind of like that metalcore, I guess, comparison, but we just, when we look at music, we're just like, we're fucking metal, and we take everything that we like about metal and put it into our sound, because we write music that we would love to hear as a fan. We write music that we love to play and we want to play. So that's just that's just what it is.
There it is. Spring is here, my friend. The weather's getting warmer. Festival season is upon us. Where are you guys headed?
We got a lot of shit coming up. We're doing for the first time, we're doing radio rock festivals in the U.S. A few of them, I can't remember all the names because usually it's just like the radio station number. We're doing
Rock on the Range, Rocklahoma.
Rocklahoma, those are the ones I really know. We're also doing Earth Day Birthday in Orlando. We're doing like the 98 Rock Fest in Tampa. We got another one in Jacksonville. There's a couple like Iowa, Kansas City. I think there was one called Laser Fest. I'm not really too sure. But a lot of those things, we get to play a lot of different bands that we probably wouldn't normally tour with, you know, just because of the whole metal thing. But it's going to be really cool. We have a new single called Black that went to Active Rock Radio. That's just kind of, you know, the balls just get rolling on that. So these festivals,
Black!
Yeah. So these radio fests is a way to, you know, kind of expose ourselves to that whole scene and hopefully, you know, branch out to another different audience with people, you know, that listen to and follow, you know, active rock radio bands and everything like that. And also off those festivals to fill in dates in between them, doing a bunch of headlining shows, which if you haven't seen us, or you know, some of these places we're playing that we haven't really, I don't think, ever played in these areas. So, you know, definitely it'd be cool. We get to come see a, you know, extended long show that we do, and then we're also doing shows with Five Finger Death Punch, and I think there's like 4 or 5 of those in between. So that'd be really cool. Looking forward to all those shows. Kind of something new, and then right after that, as soon as like the last shows were Oklahoma, go home for like a day or two, and then we're on a plane to Germany to start the European festival circuit, which is the shit. You know, we've done that. It's I think our gotta be 3rd time, 4th time maybe that we've done these festivals, and then and also a lot of new festivals we haven't done in a lot of countries. So, you know, we do the Download Festival, which is been kind of like our tradition over the years of playing Rock and Ring Rock and Park, Gods Metal in Italy, Metal Town in Sweden, Full Force, another German festival. There's Nova Rock, Tuska in Finland, Copenhagen. We're doing going to Turkey for the first time. So a lot of cool stuff over there. Doing some headlining shows with As I Lay Dying for off dates. So it's a packed schedule, and then it's just kind of keeps going from there.
No big deal, you know.
We have a lot of stuff. Touring again in the summer. You know, we got South America in September, and then hopefully everything works out. We're, you know, trying to hit Europe again, Japan, Australia, and all that stuff. So pretty much this year is like the most extensive, intense, you know, amount of touring we've done probably ever. So,
well, dude, that's what happens when you write a great record. That you have to tour on it forever.
Yeah, and also just like really, you know, really cool opportunities to, you know, I guess broaden our horizons and play with different people. So that's also extended the album, you know, instead of just doing, I guess, playing with the bands we normally play with or just headlining whatever, you know, we get to go out with someone like Asking Alexandria and Dream Theater, get to do radio rock festivals, which there's not a lot of, I guess, metal bands that are in our, I guess, our peers or whatever that really play those things. So we've had, you know, just a lot of different, you know, just, you know, trying to hit as many people as possible that would be into what we do. So that's why we're on the road nonstop. Is we're trying to, you know, we're just going out there and trying to grab everyone one by one and, you know, turn them on to some fucking heavy metal.
Some Trivium.
Yeah.
My last question for you, dude. When I did the Black, like, did I do it like you and Nat? Was it okay? Was it close?
It's
I
pretty
mean, I
close
know
to
I'll
the
never
album
be you
version.
guys, but
The album version's got that kind of like that mid kind of gang vocal. Live, it's, you know, live it's a bit heavier because I just scream it because I'm the only one that does it, so I got to make it sound a little bit bigger and more intense. But yeah, it's a cool jam, and people even like these.
Can you give me one right now? Are we allowed to do that, or are you trying to like save your voice?
I can't really. It's weird. Like when I do it without a microphone, it like doesn't come out right.
It just doesn't come out right?
Yeah, when we get in front of a mic, it's like easy, and then when I do it without it, I'm like, this sounds kind of weird. But then on a microphone, I'm like, yeah, it sounds.
It's like playing air guitar.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Dude, thank you so much for sitting down with me and taking the time. Trivium, ladies and gentlemen, In Waves is out now on Roadrunner Records, so go out and pick it up if you already haven't, but you should have already gotten it. And they're touring everywhere except the moon, so there's no excuse not to catch these guys live in the coming months moving into the summer. Crank it up!
Awesome.